Good afternoon. This is Brian Hitzelberger, your professor for AD 255, and this is week 10. Our discussion this week is titled The Foreign and the Familiar. This is an interesting discussion because this is the week where, in our module, we look at work and structures and artifacts from cultures from all over the world. Okay? What's interesting about this week is that it kind of underscores really how Western heavy our journey through the history of art has been up to this point. And frankly, the way that a lot of art education is structured, it really puts a lot of emphasis on the Western world in terms of developing the story of art. Okay? This is actually an assignment that will actually come up later on in this class. But today, for our discussion videos, what I wanted to do was to actually ask all of you to contemplate notions surrounding the foreign and the familiar, the idea of something being foreign and also the idea of something being familiar. Okay? This is going to be a really interesting conversation because, of course, although Purdue is a Western university, you are a very international student body. And because this is an online course in the middle of a pandemic, many of you are actually in your own nations enrolled in this class currently. So you're enrolled in a class through an American university, but you may not be living in America right now, which is really pretty interesting. One of the benefits of being in an online class. But what I'd like you to do this week is to actually make your way through the material that we've looked at and focus specifically on the artifacts or artworks of cultures that are not your own. Okay, so a culture that you could say this is a foreign culture, but look at that work, whatever it may be, and ask yourself what feels familiar about this. Maybe it's an object that is used to do something that you also do. This is an interesting intellectual exercise because it essentially asks you to find instances of your own experience in somebody else's life. What parts of your own life do you see in the cultural objects of somebody else's? And the ways in which those objects have been aestheticized says a great deal about the circumstances that surround the anonymous persons or the artists who made it or utilized it. I really love this conversation. I think that this is always a high point for me in the semester because the students' experiences are so rich and your perspectives are so diverse. So, as always, I'm really looking forward to seeing these videos. Thank you so much.